Hello, my lovelies. Hello, Plastic Exposed. Hello, Nikki. So just wait for a few people to join in. As you can see, I've got my Weibo look on. Or is it? No, it's not so much Weibo. It's more pseudo-Chinese, isn't it? My Empress Ming look, I'll call this. Oh, Flash, Flash, I love you, but we only have 24 hours to save the Earth. Oh, isn't that a wonderful film? So camp, it's brilliant. So, a little quiz today and talk about what anyone wants to talk about. Just let me know if anyone wants to come in and have a little chat. Oh God, you know what? Why does my nose always go itchy? No, it's a given sign, right? That and it doesn't. It's not a good look, isn't it? Doing that all the time to your nose. Oh, your pop release itself. Yeah, it's a guaranteed. It's like when you put the when we used to have to wear the face masks all the time. Thank God we don't have to wear them all the time now. Every time I put one on, my nose felt like it was running, and every time I appear on camera, I think, oh, my nose is running. Oh yeah, I'm all right, thank you. Johnny Bravo. Good evening, Anna Cleavers. So yeah, what to talk? It's lots to talk. Well, I say it's lots to talk about, isn't it? I'm getting absolutely. Apparently, I'm a demon. I'm a devil. I'm a demon. According to the cerebrally challenged on YouTube. Great day and night. Night nurse will sort you out. Get day. What for? No, that's no. It's like a thing. I always feel like my nose is running when when I first go on camera. It's like oh, my nose, and it's just not a nice look, isn't it? Going towards your nose all the time. And I have novel habits as well of playing with me hair as well, which I hate doing. I always got told off. That's been lifelong that I started messing about with my hair, which I'm trying to stop myself doing. Oh no, I don't have a cold. It's just it's like I don't know. It's like a response. I start feeling like I've got a snotty nose, or I think I've got a hair across my nose. That's another one. So anyway, so what should we go on about? Should we talk a bit about Decca and what's going on? Oh, it's just never ending, is it? Never ending. But I don't like this latest developed that Anthony Bakers and what's his name? That fella that looks like, oh God, what's his name? He looks, if imagine you get Shrek and King Henry VIII and they both have a love child. What's it? Nothing. Paul Ellis. I don't know what the hell they're up to, but one of them's going to get bleeding banged up if it's what I think they're doing. They will end up being banged up if they carry on. You've got to sometimes say, look, right, you've got to look, it can take time, but eventually justice should come. Justice should come, let's put it that way. Oh, Paddy's live. Oh, that was funny, though. I'm not being up. See, I'm doing it. Ugh. I hate this. I always imagine I've got this snotty nose when I'm doing lives for some reason. And my hair's frizzy again. Oh, not going right, is it? Not going right. It's good. It's a good job that my beautiful face distracts from all these imperfections. Yeah. Oh, that was funny. That wasn't it. He laughed about it though. Oh, he seemed to laugh. I don't know. I haven't watched since. You've been with. I've watched. Sorry about this, people. I'm going to give my nose a good rub because it's driving me nuts, and I don't want you to see because it's crude. Because that's driving me mad. That. Now that I've mentioned it and I've said it to everyone that I get this, it's all the time now. Oh yeah, Brian Cogwell, I've been seeing the latest updates on what's happened, but this idea that Decca's mama's getting involved, well, I can't. She didn't actually say, did she, that Decca's mama was trolling her? She said she'd contacted her. Now, is it his mama? You see, you've got to be careful, people, right? Don't forget, there's people out there that are convinced that I'm insulting them or causing trouble online, and it's not me. There's lots of fake accounts go around. You've got to take that in consideration. Is his mama actually doing this, or it's someone pretending to be his mama? If it is a mama, he wants to tell her, don't get involved, because it looks like he did get his papa involved. No doubt about that. He got his papa involved when that set up, outside the fruit store, which he wasn't there at the time. He said, so that was his papa getting involved. Shouldn't be doing it. So the possibility is that he might have got his mama involved, but it could also be someone pretending to be her. Yeah, this is what happens when people go around thinking they're being clever. It actually can get someone off something because they just turn around and I did that as a joke to Donna Humble. Donna Humble, I was on there, no comments, not a live chat. This thing, people, you'll very, very rarely have seen me appear in anyone's live chat. But I was on the comments and I was having a to and fro with this other YouTuber. And so as a laugh, I just deleted them all. And Donna was going, "Oh, you've been on here, saying this, saying that." And so I turned around and said, "Oh, it's not me. It's the fake Anne. You're falling for the fake Anne. Wake up, girlfriend." Well, of course it was me that was doing it. But you see what I'm proving there. I could get off with something, anyone could, if there's a fake account out there, and say, "Oh, it wasn't me. It was the fake one." That's what happens. That's exactly what happens. Oh, that's because of me. My papa's side of the family, Italian heritage. He wasn't Italian. He was a Scouse through and through. I say he wasn't born in Italy, but we have an Italian heritage. And then my mama used to always say, now she said, genetically, you're more Swedish French than you are Italian. Oh, thank you, Johnny. Yeah, so you have to be careful. It might not be his mama's. See, this is what when people play like this, honest to God, they don't realize, they think they're doing damage. But if someone is playing games with this poor woman, they're sick doing it. Very, very sick. They're sicker than, let's say, if it was Decca telling his mama to do it. They're sicker than him if he did do that, because what they're doing, they're playing with a woman that's grieving already. So you have to be careful. But that's what happens. You have to be careful. Don't take every communication you get as being factual. It happened between me and the real Danny G. He said, "Oh, the arguments I had in his lives with him," and I said, "Danny," I said, "I didn't. I've never been on your live, which I haven't." And I like Danny G because, as I say, Danny G is what I argue against. He's rough, tough, and all this man, big brave. You know what I'm talking about. But he's honest about who he is and what he is. He's not trying to pretend he's something that he's not. Where the others tend to pretend that they're out there to change people's lives and all this and influence them, like Paul Ellis has done. He's talking about his mental health. They all talk about mental health for some reason, but it's all like they're all in, and then they turn around and Paul Ellis shows that he is quite capable of threatening a man who's clearly got mental health issues. So where the real Danny G doesn't do that. He is who he is, in other words. Oh God, I'm nearly saying it is what it is. It is what it is. That's the famous one now, isn't it? Proper sick, like, you know. I'm proper sick. I'm cool. I am, dude. It is what it is. Scary part is Decca's dad has been. Well, that's true. That's his papa shouldn't be doing that, and he should be stopping his papa doing it. I wouldn't get my parents involved in anything like this if it was going on around me. No chance. I'd say keep well out of it. Let's see. How you feeling? Just reading the Anne. Let's see some. Did you give? I've already gone over this about Callie Diamond. Some bleeding dementia sufferer, and I'm not being horrible because he has. I think he's saying he has got dementia. It was going on about this the other day. You know, he was setting up a trafficking thing. Come on. I mean, it's all, whatever's been said there has all been said, but he's got the backlash. Sean has got the backlash of it. He's still getting punished today for it. So, you know, I don't know what else people are wanting to happen. Maybe he's learned to let's not do it again. Well, no, Danny G, the real Danny G, different one, not Darren G. God blimey, me and Darren G. You'll never see us two ever agreeing on anything. Me and Darren G. No, Danny G, the real Danny G. It's Danny, but with a G, just the G, not the GEE. Different person. And when he started off, remember when he began his channel, people were coming up to him saying, "You're not Danny G," and all this. That's why he put the real Danny G, because everyone thought that he was Darren's brother. They're saying, "You're not Dan. You're not Danny G." Just looking at it. So, yeah, but people have to, because someone's going to end up going, they say, it's all right, these lads, no acting like lads. You know what? They're old men. They're middle-aged men, and they're acting like that. No, that's where you're going to do this. If they go around causing trouble around the streets, they could find themselves being picked up. Can't do that, people, no matter how convinced you are, you know the truth and you know the facts. You can't go doing things like that. Because it's actually called harassment. Well, this is it. He's making loads of money out of it, isn't he? He's the only one that's winning at the moment, Houseway. He's making a lot of money. So, you know, he's not suffering from it. But, see, the thing is, you've got to be very, very careful at the same time. Because there are, and this is what I say, vendettas get you nowhere. Like, vendettas get you nowhere. There's obviously a few people, not everyone, but there's a few people that have got a vendetta there. And when that happens, that gives a person the excuse to say, I'm a victim. And essentially, they can't say they're a victim if they're a victim of a vendetta. And there's lots of people love the underdog as well. They love supporting the underdog. So they say, oh, yes, you're being bullied. You're being bullied. Look, I had it either today or the other day. It's like, I Matrix. Because I pulled someone that, you know, I caught her in one of Ronan's thing, you know, lives with this transgender woman. And I thought, who are you kidding? The absolute abuse I got off her and her friends when she was on another person's channel that was taken down off YouTube for abuse, not just abusing me, abusing a few people. Now, I said, and I've said this again and again, people, if you become the victim of cyberbullying or anything else, what happens is when they want to move on and move forward and forget it, when they realise that it's not getting them anywhere, it's not working, and then they try to make out that they're all cool and down with the LGBTQIs or whatever, right? It's up to whoever they put through months of hell when they were a big gang and felt safe going up and bullying someone like I got and others. It's up to us then to decide whether we let them move on or whether we remind them. Well, I made the decision, no, I'm not going to let her forget it, because I went through hell and I had my dog when he died the day after being G'd and skittered. And she was part of this group. So I pulled her and said, oh, this is strange. You're all suddenly now liking the LGBTQIs. Well, it wasn't like that a while ago. And then she said something. I won't go into details because it's on my community page. She put up a quote. Apparently she's grieving, I've been told. She's grieving over this American podcaster. She's grieving over him. He lost his channel. Why? Because he was being extremely abusive. And now he's into Holocaust denial, which makes him a neo-Nazi. So that's what she's crying over. And if she says once again, and I've told her that I told her to go and kill herself, I'm telling you now, I'll be putting more up there. I'll do a whole episode revealing the recordings of the things she said, the hate speech was given out, the snipes have got of what she was saying. I'll put that out. If she puts that lie out again, because I never told her to go and kill herself. I've never told anyone to go and do that. So, but then you see, this is it. What I was pointing that out for was that I get called. One person called me and said, "Tell you an anti-cyberbullying campaigner." Yeah, and I'm an activist against hate against LGBTQI people. And the way you go about that is when you've got someone that has come out with vile hate, and I'm not talking about the odd thing, I'm talking about months of it, vicious hate. I said, you expose them, you put them out into the public when they're trying to hide. I have the same issue with Uncle Bobby from The Honest Truth. He's trying to be all, oh, last Yorkshire man, everyone loves Bobby. Yeah, I've got it all about what Bobby was getting up to with that vile thing of him. What was his name? Chris Hartley, something like that. And strange enough, Chris Hartley suddenly vanished when I just off the top of my head said, well, why doesn't Chris Hartley get his acro? Let Chris Hartley get it when he was going on about Decca. Suddenly, Chris Hartley vanished. I wonder why. Not saying I know why, I'm just wondering why. Could be a coincidence, but he did. Oh, don't give me that. Don't give me that. It's a white mind. Do you think I'm going to give her one tad of sympathy, right? She's a liar. She's a liar. Look, she got on. Let's get this out the way now, right, Mrs. O, right? When my dog died, the day after, on The Honest Truth, you can still see it. It's still there. Go back to the first few videos they did. Hear them. This went on for days, jeering and laughing at my dog dying. Jeering and laughing. And that Chris Hartley put up. He put us as Savvy Bonzo. Right? So she's expecting me to buy that. I'm not. Because this is someone, right? Let's get this. And this makes me laugh. It makes me laugh because I think she's absolutely pathetic. She turned round and this is how I noticed. I might as well explain this now since it's out there. I didn't know who the hell she was. I'm not going to mention her name, but I didn't know who the hell she was. And I'm watching this American podcaster giving out his usual hate and going on about me. And then she out of the blue turned around and said about me. It was when George Floyd. That was the name, wasn't it? I'm thinking of the cook, or am I getting it wrong? No, the American black man who was basically murdered, you could say, by the police officer kneeling on his neck. They call it manslaughter, but you kneel on someone's neck, I'm sorry, you're going to kill them. Anyway, she said that hadn't long happened, and she turned around and said, "Oh, you know, Anne, she wouldn't kneel on his neck. She'd do something else." And started laughing, and I thought, you evil, horrible, horrible thing to turn around and say that. And she was laughing. So she not only thought his death was funny, she was trying to make out that because I'm insects that I go around raping men. That's what she was saying. So I thought, oh, I'm watching you. So I started watching it. So anyway, she turned around and I nearly wet myself because I knew what she looked like because she had a picture on an app and all this. And she thought the American podcast was black, which a lot of people did. They thought he was a black American because of the way he talks. He talks like a American version of Chalky White. Very stereotypical Bronxy sort of thing. Talk he comes out with, like, oh, my cats, oh, my cats, oh, dude, and all that. Well, he's not. He's Mexican descent, American Mexican, you might as well say, and a white Mexican as well. So because she thought he was black American, right? And she was going on about how she loved his accent. She concocted this story where she said her grandparents, I can't help laughing. You've got to see it, Abby. You've got to see it, Abby. Were black African descent. We're black Africans, basically. And one of them lived in Germany. And I said, you're kidding me. I said, she's whiter than I am. Now, of course, you can bleach your hair, but she's whiter than I am and has got bright blue eyes. And she looked like, to me, someone that had jumped off a Nazi recruitment poster in the Second World War for the Aryan race. And I thought, and this Welsh accent as well, and I'm talking about strong. Does anyone ever remember oh, thank you, Calm Corner, you're an angel. What she did. I can't help laughing, I can't take it. Anyway, she was doing this, so she went mad. She went absolutely flipped. I didn't know she was claiming. She then started claiming she's German. Oh, I'm German. I'm German. And you're a racist because I called her a Nazi girl, poster girl. You're racist. I'm German. I said, wait a minute. I said, Davis, as far as I know, isn't a German surname. It sounds very Welsh to me. I'm not Welsh. I'm German. She kept on insisting she was German, right? So anyway, I said, where did you get Davis from? I married a Welshman. Right. If you heard her accent, anyone ever see, what was it called? Dad's Army. And do you ever remember the press officer? Oh, he was dead funny. He was Welsh. And he'd go, oh, man, wearing boil. He talked like that, but he was so funny. That's what her accent's like. She's got a really strong accent. So I said to her, I said, well, bloody hell, girl, I said, you've got one strange stutter there because you sound very Welsh to me. You don't sound one bit German. You sound very Welsh. Anyway, I thought, give her time and she'll slip up in a lie because she just lies and lies and lies. Anyway, next thing. She's on. I forget where it was. I don't know whether it was The Honest Truth or not or somewhere else, but she was gobbing off about me again, jeering me about, oh, I've got a spare ovary. If I want a spare ovary, no thanks, love. I don't want your spare ovary because if I ever gave birth, I wouldn't want something coming out with two heads, I can assure you. But anyway, she was going on like that, and she said, oh, Anne doesn't like my accent because I'm Welsh. And I got it like that. I thought, yeah, slipped up. I knew she would. Of course she's Welsh. She's not German at all. She just said that to try and make out that I was a racist. But the funniest thing of all, oh my God, the American podcaster said to her, see, I know what's coming, so that's why I'm laughing. Wait, I'll have to gather myself. He said to her, Oh, I love your accent. It sounds like a Rasta. You know? She sounds like a Jamaican, in other words. That's what he was saying. And I just got in my head, I thought, oh God, no woman, no cry, boyo. And I was like, oh. If you hear it, she's got a Jamaican. I thought, he hasn't heard many Jamaicans if they think they sound like a Welsh woman. Oh my God, I nearly wet myself. Where's that gone? Oh, Carmen, I've lost you. Oh, you said, where has it gone? Oh, Carmen, where have I put it? Oh, blimey, what have I done? So I couldn't help that, but Mrs. O, I had to reply that to it, so that's how it got going with her. She's a compulsive liar. So this idea, I'm grieved, no, my dog. Look, right, I don't believe her. She's just saying that because of what happened to me. And if she is telling the truth on the rare occasion, she is telling the truth, get on with it, love. What sympathy did I get from you and your bleeding gang? Nothing. I got jeered and laughed at because of my dog dying. So, don't expect any sympathy from me. Do you know what this I'm getting? Oh, do you know what? I tell you now, do you know what, Karma? It keeps on going. This thing is driving me. I'm going to go dead slow. Slow. Because if I rush it, it goes mad. There we go. Vigilant action, in my opinion, is not the answer. Clare's law, Sarah's law are there for a reason. The promotion of these reveals the way to go and to limit pressure. Oh, definitely agree with you there. Look, there's definitely, we know. Look, I think we can all agree on something when it comes to Decca Heggie. There's definitely something, definitely. You can't ignore it. You can't ignore us. And he's done that himself by playing games. But you just have to. So it's like the thing you can't do, Carmen, is so it's like, because all that's going to happen if people go down there and start harassing him. No, because he could have got Darren G arrested. He could have, if he wanted to. He could get Anthony Baker arrested. He could do if he wanted to, because harassment. You can't do that. You can't do it, and they don't want. And who's going to win then? It's not going to be Anthony Baker's. It's not going to be Paul Ellis. It's not going to be anyone. Darren G. It's not going to be any of them. None of them. None of them are going to. The only one that's going to benefit from that is Decca. And that's what you've got to get into mind, people. I'm not saying that's what they're doing. Let me point out, but it looks like that's what they're planning to do. I'm not saying they're going to go cause some harm or injury or go up to his doorstep, but there's something coming off. I know there's something coming off, and I think they're going along a very dangerous line. It's not worth getting in trouble over anything like that. Let's see. Agree, Karma Corner. I'm a strong believer that anybody getting into a relationship should you. Oh yeah, definitely, especially definitely if they have kids. 100. Thank you for that, Jackie. Thank you. I've always had this argument, right? When someone's got children, you can't afford, especially with children, you can't afford to just let a man in, or anyone actually for that matter. Don't forget, it's not just men that can be abusive, women can be abusive as well. So you can't let that happen. So this checking up on people, I'd say, yeah, 100% do it. It's a good thing. It's a very, very good thing, because you need to get it out there and say this person can't, be isn't safe to be around people like that. But if someone's got children, you know, people, and this is the problem now, people get into relationships, just they go from one relationship to another, and they're taking a risk at times. They're taking a great risk if they don't know the person. They really are taking a risk, and it's not worth it. It's certainly not worth it. So yeah, I'd say definitely always check up. Look, guys, there's no harm in it. And if someone doesn't want you to check up, I mean, let's put it this way, if you, any of the fellas out there, you're getting into a relationship with a woman or you like her, and if she turns around and says, look, I love you, I want to be in a relationship with you, but I've just got to do this check, you understand that, don't you? You'd say, go on, wouldn't you? You'd be pleased that she was so responsible and cared for her children that much that she'd do that, wouldn't you? And vice versa. I say vice versa. Women can be abusers as well, and they can be checked up on. Oh yeah, you can't just phone up and ask for anyone. You've got to have details about them. Yeah, you've got to have a reason. You can't just go around getting information on people. But anyway, let's put this in if anyone wants to talk. I'll get this link in the chat because we've got that out the way. I didn't want to go on about that one, you know, Miss Bleeding Pain in the backside, trying to make out now that she's all down with the transgenders, but you know, I couldn't help it. Do you know what? I don't get this. No, this is getting me, right? You know, this is getting, and I'm not being funny, Susan, right? I've had so far and had to block two of who I thought were really good. I really liked them. Two people that came on asking again about Jen all the time. Right? I'm not saying this about you, sweetheart. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, right? But then I saw that they were acting as mods for Sean Atwood. And I thought, there's something going on here. Why are his mods? And they're in different places that don't like Sean. And I'm like, look, I've said it before. I've got no problem with Jen. I don't know the woman. I've got no problem with her. I had that one argument with her. That was it. I've got no problem with her. But I hope I haven't insulted you, Susan. I hope I haven't insulted you there. I'm not meant to. Actually, do you know what, Sue? You're asking this too much. What do you think, Sue, about Jen? What do you think about her? That'd be more of a question. You tell me what you think about her instead of asking me. I've got no problem with her. I don't know her. As a widowed single full-time father, I will never let anyone into my child's life. I would rather stay single than risk anything. My kids, my life. That's it. Yeah. Oh, and as I say, it's not just people think of a man thing. No, women, believe me, women can be abusers as well. That's the thing that's hardly ever spoken about. Talking about Jen, you know, with Sean Atwood is she presents shows with him, but for some reason I get people coming on here and asking about what do I think of Jen. It seems strange that they're asking me that at all. Why the hell does it? What do I? Let's see. What do I think of Monica Lewinsky? Why not ask me that? It just seems so strange. You get the feeling. Let's be honest. I'm getting the feeling they're searching for something here. Look, Jen, I don't know where, so I've got no opinion on it. Yeah, Missy Crawford. No, Wix mixing words with RN. Woman like myself, I don't give a flying what. Oh, really, Miss Crawford. You're gonna get in trouble in my finishing school. You didn't say, yeah, that's right, Dad. Thanks for that. I don't know, Jax. I don't know what the hell she's done, but people keep on coming on every week asking me what I think of her. I don't know her. Only know what anyone else knows what the sword and the things to do. I don't think it is. I don't think it's Jen so. I think she's got better things. She doesn't come across as someone that would give a damn what I think of her. She's not. She's an intelligent. You can tell she's intelligent. She wouldn't give a damn what I think of her, would she? But yep. So what else? Oh, we haven't even done our little quizzy, have we? We haven't even done our little quiz. Hey, do you know what? I noticed it's near. Paris is near. Oh, she's going to get the sack. She's going to get the sack. She should be here, dead on as a mod. Yeah, I've got no problems with her at all. All right, what else to talk about? We were going to do the little quiz, but I don't think people like my quizzes, do they? Oh God, that happens a lot. Matrix, that happens a hell of a lot. I was saying this the other week. What about this? When someone comes in the station, you can't take what they're saying as being fact. When they say you've got to believe every allegation made about, I'm talking about against a woman or whatever. No, we know people do make up lies to get the partners in trouble. You have to be careful, very careful. It does happen, but you'll work out. And that's why, because I was talking about the very low, the CPS not taking cases to court. It's because you've got to have solid evidence that's happened. Because at the end of the day, it's a very, very serious, very, very, very serious allegation to make against anyone, man or woman. And men do it against men. Believe me, I've had it happen. God, I could tell you one now, but I'm not going to. Oh, thank you, Carrie. Thank you, sweetheart. I can tell you now. Oh, you're here. I was just saying, Paris. Oh, I bet lovely Paris is here in my chat listening now. She's so devoted and she's such a good moderator. She's lovely. I was just saying that about you, Paris. Anyway, oh God, I could tell you the tale. Absolutely horrendous that happened, which I'm not going to. About a man who actually came in and said, and I took the details down. And then when he walked out the station, I went on the system, put his name in, and I just went, whoa. I thought, good God, it was a serious incident. So I had to get right onto the radio control room and say, look, he's just been in. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Get someone out there. If there's a patrol car, get him. God, it was serious, very serious. And I didn't know. And I'd let him walk out the bleeding station. God, that made my heart absolutely stop. Oh, look, you can tell, you can usually work out when someone's telling the truth. You can. And as you say, Amish, if the same people are making, if they're getting several, there's only so many allegations you can take, then it's like, wait a minute. And you can't identify why these people would make it up. That's the big thing. Can you identify why people would lie? And if you can't, because they do look into that, they say, is this someone that's just got a grudge? That's why I always say to you, right? I always say, be careful about reporting all sorts of things, because I think I've told you before about a case I dealt with. And this woman was coming in. I can talk about this because I won't be giving any indication who she is. She was in a good job, a very, very good job. And she came in to complain about her brother harassing her parents and her father harassing her mother and all this business she'd been in. Well, I just went onto the system. And her father, because their complaints had been removed from the household. And he was very old, very old. I'm sure he was in his late 70s. Anyway, I went on the system and suddenly I saw like that huge list of complaints she'd been in, all these complaints. But yeah, her brother had been in and made 2 complaints about her, saying that she was making false allegations. Well, sometimes you think, is there something divine working for someone? Because I walked into the interview room and I saw this statement left on the table, and I thought, oh, that's a breach of data, that, to leave a statement, or what they call in the force an MG11 out there. So I picked her up and I saw the name and I saw her mother's name on it. And it was saying, to cut a long story short, it was saying that, the father was harassing her and all this business. But it said on it that the daughter was the translator for the mother, because they spoke, I don't know whether it was Hindu or whatever it was. It was something like that. Some Indian language they spoke. Well, I knew full well the mother could speak English fluently. The mother had no problem with English. So I thought, why is the daughter translating for the mother? And also, you can't do that. You can't have someone that's got a vested interest translating. If you go into the police and you have someone that can't speak English, it's not the first language, or they have trouble speaking it, you have to get someone from outside the force, a translator. They can't be employed or work for the police. And the reason that is because how do you know that if they work for the police themselves or they're related to the person, that they're not just telling you something, or they're not putting something down which is totally incorrect to catch the person out, or to basically corrupt the outcome of it. So you have to get an outside interpreter to do it. You can't have someone connect. So I thought she shouldn't have been allowed. So I ran right upstairs and I said, right, to the inspector, I said, you've got to look into this. I said, she shouldn't be translating for her mother. And I said, I know damn well her mother can speak English, so why she's translating for her? And it transpired that the father got taken out the house because of a letter he apparently sent to her in this language they spoke. So just off the top of my head, and I never even thought that the answer was going to be no, because I thought surely it would be the first thing anyone would think of doing in the police. I said, just tell me, I said, has anyone translated this letter from the father? Or they just taken what this daughter is saying in there? And the inspector looked into it and he said, you wouldn't believe, he said, they haven't translated the letter. I said, right, get it translated straight away, because I said, something's going on here. Something's going on here. Translated it. It wasn't what the daughter claimed was in it. No threats, nothing. So the father had been removed from the house wrongfully. All sorts have happened. And when the son came in, I said, I said, if I was you, I'd go and get legal advice over this. I said, they shouldn't have done it. I said, they've messed this up, something terrible. But the upshot was the daughter, who was in a good job, hasn't got a job anymore, because she was arrested for providing false statements. It's a serious matter, a very, very serious matter. So you have to be very, very careful when you go in. And I've known people to go in, tell lies, either to get the partner in trouble, or the opposite, to get them off on something that they've done. And when it's been found out, the minute you put your signature down on that MG11, that statement, that's it. Read what it says. They can prosecute you, and it's a serious offence. So you have to be very, very careful. It's not a game, but people run into the police about things that, aren't true, and they're taking a great risk. So there we go. Just thinking what else to talk about now. Someone give me an idea what to talk about now. Here we go. I know someone that got stitched up and ended up pleading guilty because the police made it so if he had... Oh, this is another thing, plea bargaining. It's so wrong the way they do it. He's going to get more punishment. Yeah. It can happen, believe me, people. It can happen that someone pleads guilty to something they haven't done just because the threat is that they're going to get a harsher sentence. So it does happen. And in a way, Anthony Baker, that's his whole issue. He says he was accused of doing things that he didn't. And things that he sent me seem to back that up, that he was accused of stuff that he hadn't done, and the police just didn't act on it. And that's the problem you've got to go over as well. Will the police act on it? They don't always act on it. Oh, June. June. You've had trouble. I won't put it up here, but I see it in the chat. You've had trouble with the same person, haven't you? So has Heather Turner. I've had trouble with him. Believe me, this is all going to end in tears. Tears it is, because he'll kick off on the very people he's befriending at the moment. Oh, you want some quiz questions? Okay, let's see. Quiz questions. Let's see. Oh, I was thinking of one the other day. What was I listening to? Here we are. Let's see. Let's get it up. Let's see. That's the wrong one. Let's see. Here we are. Oh, I love this one. Who sang? Oh, you'll have to go back for this one now. You've asked, Nikki. Right, I love this song, and I bet no one will be able to answer it. Who sang Uptown Top Rankin'? And it caused a little bit of a sensation at the time because it was the first reggae record to include the way, I don't know what you call it, the way certain sizes and groups of people talk to themselves in their own sort of language. It's English, but it's hard for anyone outside that group of people to understand what they're saying. And these two, it was two women, absolutely wonderful. Uptown Top Rankin'. Who sang that? Uptown Top Rankin'. Yeah, Aletha and Donna. Oh God, if you get it, I won't put it on here, but just put on Uptown Top Rankin'. Oh God, I was amazed by it, and they were absolutely amazing to watch as well. They were totally unique. I remember it coming out because fashion-wise, they were totally unique, these two women. And they didn't fit in with the style of the time. And of course, the press were all buzzing about this song because they were saying, oh, we've never heard words like this. When you listen to it, it's difficult to understand what they're talking about. But it's a brilliant song. Absolutely brilliant. But they were like a one-hit wonder because everything they did after that sounded exactly the same. Yeah, Donna was the other one. Donna was the one with the wonderful afro, wasn't it? And the big, huge glasses. I thought she was so cool looking for the time. I thought, oh my God, she is so cool. I mean, they were both cool looking, but she just stood out, didn't she? They still actually sing that song now and again on rare occasions because it's said when you think of it, and it was women that did it, not men. So it was absolutely amazing. So another one. Yeah, they were great. They were absolutely amazing. Just thinking about another one. Here we are. Who? This is another obscure one. But you all got that one, Uptown Top Ranking. You got that, so people would struggle with that one. Who acted as Queen Elizabeth I in Orlando, the film Orlando, which was based on Virginia Woolf's amazing book, Orlando? So who acted as Queen Elizabeth I in Orlando? Oh yeah, move. That is a good one. Salt and pepper. So come on, who acted as exactly Quentin Crisp? And he was brilliant in it, wasn't he? As an old Queen Elizabeth I. And Orlando, right. What fable was Orlando the book based on? What famous fable? And if you've got a religious mind about you, it's a fable concerning Jesus, something happened that happened to Jesus and the result of what happened. So what was Orlando based on? What story? Anyone got any idea? No, not Aesop. No, not Bella. Tell you what it was. It was Orlando the Wandering Jew. And what it was a fable about that when Jesus was carrying the cross, this man called Orlando said something to him. I can't remember what he said, but said something. And God said, oh, Jesus said, sorry, you'll live to regret that. Anyway, what happened was he became eternal. He didn't die, Orlando, and that's why he was called the Wandering Jew. And he thought this was great at first, but then after centuries of people dying on him and loss and grief, he cried out at the end, please let me die. And that's what the film goes on. In the film Orlando, or based on Virginia Woolf's book, what happens is Orlando starts off as a man. Virginia Woolf played with it, played with the story. Where in the fable, Orlando just stays as a man. He doesn't change sex halfway through, but he cries out. And the message of the fable is if you think living forever is a good thing, it's not. It would be horrific because as you're living forever, everyone around you is dying. So you've got to put up with grief after grief after grief. So that was the message of it. Anyway, but what Virginia Woolf did when she wrote the book, she made Orlando start off as an Elizabethan man. And halfway through, he wakes up as a woman and lives life as a woman. And what she was trying to get through in the book, and it's great if you read the book, the book's actually better than the film. And there's one wonderful scene which I was creased up in, which isn't in the film. They start playing a game called Fly Loo. I'll just leave her at that, Fly Loo. It's just brilliant the way she does her in the book, and it was a shame they didn't put this Fly Loo game in the film because it was hilarious in the book. But what it was pointing out was that, or Virginia Woolf was trying to say, when it comes to being a man and being a woman, what's the difference? She said both come with the problems. She said it's not all fun being a man and it's not all fun being a woman. They had different issues and different problems to contend with, but it's good. It is very good. Oh yeah, yeah. He had a very didn't have a very romantic sounding name, did he? Lazarus, he was the one that was raised from the dead, wasn't he? Yeesh. Lazarus raised from the dead. Excuse me, Hamish. I think you're not going to miss my wonderful show to answer the door to get your food. I hope one of your servants will get it for you. You can't miss me, Hamish. So another. Oh yeah, another. Let's see another question. Let's ask another. Oh yeah, here we are. Quentin Crisp. What was the name of Quentin Crisp's famous book that was made into a television drama or film? You might as well call television film that caused a sensation and made him a star overnight. Especially in America, it made him a huge star overnight. What was the name of the book? Yep, the naked civil servant. And I remember that I was around a very young teenager when that was on. And but I wasn't even a teenager, was I? Let's see, was it 1975? I wouldn't have been a teenager then. And everyone was talking about it. But it was when it went to America. Whoa, it went skyrocketed. The Americans absolutely adored it. Not Fly Lube. Gertrude. Fly Lou, as in Loo. Really? You have to get into my finishing school for ladies. Paris is in there at the moment. Yeah, Paris is going through my finishing school. You see, come in the back door, barge boat Bertha, and goes out the front door eventually as a lady of sophistication and demure etiquette that can be acceptable and polite in high society. Yes, Paris is my Pygmalion at the moment. Here we are. What famous musical was based on Pygmalion? There's another question for you. What famous musical was based on Shaw's Pygmalion? Oh yeah, he was a lot of things, quite crisp in his life. That's it. My Fair Lady was based on Pygmalion. And what was Pygmalion in Greek? In Greek, why has my brain got mythology? Because it came from Greece, the Pygmalion, the tale of Pygmalion. What was she originally? What was Pygmalion originally in the Greek myth? Got you all working now, trying to work it out, haven't I? Yeah. Pygmalion in. And oh, thank you. I have lots of people saying that about me. No, it wasn't a pig. And stop being silly. It wasn't a pig. I wouldn't say Casey Price. Close. Well, I wouldn't even say close. I mean, it was what it was. It was an artist, stone, made statues and stuff, and he made a statue, and he wanted it to look like Venus, be the most beautiful thing ever. But he wanted to ask the gods to bring it to life. This Pygmalion. Oh, Kathy Tyson. Yeah, she started off. I remember her starting off. When she got the role in Mona Lisa. And what was the name of the place? Because she used to be at it, and I remember she was seeing her there. Oh God, what was it called? I can't remember what it was called. And she just turned up for that audition. It was like last minute she was told about, and she never thought for 1 minute she was going to get it. Some Scouse girl that no one knew about, and she got it. So that's when you think of it. It's a good idea to turn up even though you think you're not going to get it. And she had no idea she was ever going to get it. And she got it, and it made her famous. But also, good thing to tell you also about Fiona, about Cat Tyson. Now, the way we have this thing now, ask and should actors be able to act other races? And you've seen it done recently. Anne Boleyn, wasn't it? It was acted by a black actress. And the question was, should acting be open to everyone? Well, they can act any role, because of course there's not. Historically, when you look at it, it's very limited roles for black actors because, of course, all the most famous people were white, basically. The vast majority were white individuals. So this came up. Kathy Tyson came up with that idea years ago, not about Anne Boleyn, but she said, why shouldn't someone of another race act as a white person if they want to? She said it's acting, and she was one of the first ones to come up with their idea and promote it. Way, 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 way before anyone else had the idea. Yeah, Othello was. Well, he was a black Moor, wasn't he? But they can't black up now for it. The actors, if they're white, they can't black up for it. To me, you know, this is the view I have. Yeah, let anyone act the part if they want to. Or the rain in Spain. She never actually, Audrey Hepburn never actually sang that, you know. And yet when you hear her singing, she sounds exactly like the voice in the film. So I don't know why they overdubbed her. Oh, it was Queen Elizabeth. Come on, get out of it. Oh, she's very good. She's very good, but I'm not impressed by this. You know, she tends to talk like that now, where she certainly didn't have that voice when I met her. She was a scarce through and through. Well, you see, this. I feel it's ridiculous having movies with actors of the wrong race playing historical figures but when you think that this is the thing, Gertrude, right? How many times have you seen a white actor acting the part of an ancient Egyptian pharaoh? And we know that the pharaohs were Africans, basically. The Egyptians were Africans. All right, you got some that were, we know by looking at Nefertiti and others, that at one point there was a mixture of races going on there, but essentially they were black Africans, but you get white actors acting at it as it. So look what I said before, Empress Ming the Merciless from Flash Gordon. That was always acted by a white person. So it does happen. It's happened for a long, long time. Only now what they're saying is that it's the argument. It's the way you look at it. It's the argument of should actors be able to. It's like, I remember hearing someone saying something so funny about Romeo and Juliet. There was a thing about Miss Saigon. And there was an argument that Miss Saigon should only ever be acted by someone from China, basically, or someone that was Chinese descent. You shouldn't have a white actress or singer doing the part. And someone said, well, if we're going to do this, stick to the rules. Say that you put on Romeo and Juliet, you're going to have trouble. Because one, you'll have to have them all being Italian. Juliet will have to be Italian. She'll have to be 12. And by Act 2, Act 1, she'll have to be a virgin. By Act 2, she's not a virgin anymore. So they said, well, that's going to make it interesting if you've got to keep. So it's ridiculous when they do go to that level. They say, oh, no, you should only act, within your race or whatever. But the argument is but as I say, you can't just have it that only black actors can get away with acting white parts. You've got to then also accept that white people can act black parts. It's got to be both ways, not just one way. But the reason why they want more, if you want to use the term, BAME actors doing white parts or trying at white parts, is because the parts aren't there for them to play. And it's just like, they're not, I don't know. It's one of those things, society will decide it likes it or doesn't like it. And if they can't put bums on seats, it won't happen. Well, this is a female James Bond. Look, there's lots of female roles that are, this is where it gets different. There are loads of female roles that are really good and equal to and better than some of them. I mean, look at Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind, one of the most amazing characters going. You won't find a man's role as interesting and as fascinating as that. But so you don't really need women taking over the men's roles. You don't need it. So you can create roles for a woman. And I think it's a bit silly making James Bond, that's what I think, into a woman. It doesn't, there's no point in it. You can just do an action character for a woman without having to, make a take on a man's role. Plus, some of these James Bonds have been pretty cute, and we don't want to spoil that, do we? Oh yeah, you're right there. That's what I'm saying, Chloe. You have to have it both ways. You can't just say, "Oh, it's all right." I mean, I understand the argument. I do understand the argument. We're not just talking about black acts either. We're talking about anyone that isn't white, basically. The roles aren't there. Historical roles, especially, aren't there. But if you're going to have this and this actual, no matter who you are, you can play the role, which I think is right. You can. You've got to let it work the other way. White people do as well. So if a white person acts as Nelson Mandela, that's got to be accepted. In my mind, it goes both ways. But it's one of those things that say will either disappear and never be done again and forgotten about, or people will get to accept it. But unless they're making money out of it, it won't last. Believe me, it won't last. Oh, Vivian Lee was amazing. Absolutely, absolutely amazing. It'd be silly if Lassie was playing. Oh, Lassie. God, blimey. Actually, Lassie was played. Wasn't it a boy dog? It was, wasn't it? I'm sure it was. Wasn't something about Lassie wasn't a girl dog at all? Sure it was. Oh, yeah, I love Vivian Lee as well. She was an amazing actress. She was absolutely amazing. She really got into the parts fully. Hiya, Chloe. So, let's ask another question, shall I? Don't encourage him, Jax. Don't. He's being naughty. He's being naughty and Anne's same thing. He's getting his rise, and isn't he getting a rise? He's the devil's advocate. No, I'd like to see it go playing Champion the Wonder Horse. I think it would be a good experiment. A nice goat playing Champion the Wonder Horse. Not really, no. Not really. I could never get Joe Orton. Something's a bit lucky for me. But no, it's never into his stuff. So I was too much. I mean, I like plays. I do like plays, but I was brought up in the area of being taken to see ballets and operas and stuff like that. So plays were very rare that I ever went to see. And I'm not a huge fan of musicals. I like a few musicals, but only a few. But I wouldn't go out of my way to go and see a musical. Oh, some of the old ones are brilliant. They are. Some of the old movies. I love the old movies. I do. Yeah, it depends what you're into. Some people really like them. The Woman in Black. Have you ever seen that? Purple glitter on stage. Because if they haven't changed it, it's not quite what you're seeing in the television. or the film version of it doesn't quite have that effect, because remember it was on the Liverpool Playhouse years and years ago when it was relatively new, and it didn't seem to have the same impact. I don't know whether they've changed on that. Yeah, that was a good film. Hello, Maud. Are you sweetheart? Lovely to see you here again. So I'll ask another question, shall I? Let's see. What shall I ask? Here we go. Ask a ballet. Oh, my hair. It's all frizzy. That's because I've washed it just before it came on. I shouldn't do that because my hair goes frizzy. It drives me mad until it settles down. Yeah, which Russian company produce all the classical ballets that we love, that you all love and run to every time you get the chance? The Swan Lake, Sleeping Beauty, the Nutcracker. Which Russian company created all those wonderful ballets? Well, actually created classical ballet itself. No, not the Bolshoi. And you people would say the Bolshoi. Tell you the difference between the Bolshoi in a minute. And nearly said the name. You nearly tricked me into saying the name. You nearly tricked me. So it's not the Bolshoi, which would it have been? And I want the original name of it. It's got another name now. Got a completely another name of the company. That's it, Kirov. The Kirov Ballet. They created basically classical ballet as we see it today. So there's now the difference between the Bolshoi, the Kirov with the ballet of the Tsars and the upper crust people. The Bolshoi was the ballet of the people, and that's the difference with. You'll see that the Bolshoi is more intense, very, very intense, the Bolshoi, compared to the Kirov. And it's you can just tell the difference when you see they're both amazing ballet companies, but in Russia, unlike in England, let's say, or in America, ballet is actually a highly cultural thing. It's seen as a cultural identifier of them, quite rightly so, because basically they saved ballet from absolute total oblivion. Because the French, it was just dying in France. It was dying away to absolutely being pathetic. And they kept on doing it and got it to be a massive art form. What was that old film about the couple that kidnapped a kid and then the woman pretended, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. It was with Richard Attenborough, wasn't it? Yeah, Richard Attenborough was in it. A Seance on a Wet Afternoon. Seance on a Wet Afternoon. That was absolutely brilliant, that film. I can't remember the name. There we are. What's the name of the actress? She was amazing in it. Seance on a Wet Afternoon. Oh, it's an amazing film if anyone hasn't seen that. Yeah, well, let's see. It was the 60s, wasn't it? Kim Stanley. She was absolutely, wasn't she so creepy as the one that was pretending to be psychic? That was so creepy, that film. And she gave a really creepy performance in that. If anyone hasn't seen it, I won't give the thing away from it, but it's definitely Sounds in a Wet Afternoon if you get to see it. And to kidnap this child but she's lost her child previously. And this is to prove that she's got psychic abilities. And the plan is to kidnap the child, then more or less go to the parents. And she pretends that she knows what's happened to the child, but it takes a very sinister, very, very sinister twist in it. And absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's an amazing film. Yeah, Richard Attenborough was in it. Oh yeah, Whistle Down the Wind, that's another one. That's another really, really good one, Whistle Down the Wind. Now, what won Richard Attenborough? What, at the time, very controversial film was the in where he played the part of a serial killer. And of course, we forget, we don't know now, but actually at the time it caused a sensation. An infamous serial killer. No, not Jack the Ripper. And it's another one where, and it's the one that really brought him to right to prominence, his acting ability. Yep, where's it? Where's it? Just someone's got there. Yeah, Gloria. 10 Riddleton Place, where I'm just going to get all the details up about it. Let's say the dates and everything. Let's say, so I can give you the proper information, because it's not difficult remembering all the information. It was 1971. Now let's see. And it was, who was the woman in? Oh, John Hurt. Yeah, he was in it as well. And it was about Christie, John Christie, for people who don't know John Christie. And what was the name of the character? Evans, wasn't it? Evans, something Evans. Let's see, is it here? He got hung, didn't he? Wrongfully hung for the murder. But there's questions now over that. Timothy Evans. Now, why it was so controversial was Timothy Evans, who obviously had learning difficulties. He was Welsh, and he had learning difficulties, was accused of murdering his wife and baby when it was Christie that did it. But people have questioned this since. Anyway, Timothy Evans was killed, but let's just get the dates right. The reason the film was so controversial was because of the date it came out. It was too close. Let's put it this way. It was too close to the actual, people were still raw and fuming over what happened to Evans, Timothy Evans. And so they didn't appreciate a film being made around that time. It was too close. It was still fresh in people's memories what happened. And it was very controversial. But he was amazing in it, Richard Attenborough. He was absolutely amazing. Again, he really took on the role of Christie, and he's like this so caring, you know. He's a caring man. He's worried about these women with the migraines and all that, and he can help them. And yet, that's what made it more creepy, was that he was such a pleasant character, and yet he was doing these horrendous things. Absolutely horrendous. Robert Helpman certainly did. I actually had lessons of him when I was very young. And people who don't know, say Robert Helpman. You'll have seen him. And now the vast majority of people will see him. He was a ballet dancer, Australian ballet dancer. Now, the reason you'll have seen him and he'll have scared the life out of you, he was the child catcher in Chissy Chissy Bang Bang. So I had lessons of him when I was a very young student. And lovely man, very old at that point when I met him. And he used to come out with these hilarious stories and all that. I'll have to do some. I'll have to talk about him at length in another one because he was a lovely man. He was, but extremely brilliant ballet dancer. But you couldn't. Well, it wasn't that you couldn't, but it was advised when you were around him not to mention the child catcher because that became everything he was known for. And he'd done other films. He was in The Red Shoes as well, famous 40s film, The Red Shoes. And he got sort of like he couldn't escape the child catcher. And he actually came up with that. What you see on the screen, there was a character written about a character, but he came up with that. He invented all that look, that style, the way he carried on, no children and all this. He did that. But if you saw him, you'd never guess that was the same person. And stunning eyes. I remember him as old as he was. He had these amazing eyes, big doe-like eyes, absolutely amazing. Yeah, the child catcher, you said, but he couldn't live it down. But he used to tell some funny stories, especially about Margot Fontaine, because he was very irreverent. Let's put it this way: he didn't take things seriously at all. He was a great joker, great joker. Yeah, he did this. He scared so many people. Yeah, he was one of the most lovely people you could ever meet. He was a sweetheart. He was absolute sweetheart. And amazing. Well, Margot Fontaine said herself, she said the acting industry lost out to the ballet industry, she said, because he was a brilliant ballet dancer as well. Well, that's how he started off as a ballet dancer. Oh, Christopher Lee now. The Wicker Man when he dresses up as the woman. He's doing the dance through the street. That is so funny, that. It was so funny. I thought that was wonderful. Well, Taxi Driver, that was another controversial one, wasn't it? Britt Eklund, yet she was in. It wasn't. She was in The Wicker Man, and she was being interviewed, and it was dead funny because there's that infamous scene or famous scene where banging the wall naked, and you see this backside. And she said, people send her photos of that saying, "Oh, can you sign it for us?" And she says, "No," she said, "it's not my fat ass. It wasn't her. It's not her backside that you see, it's someone else." She said, "No, it's not my fat ass." See, anyone want to? I'll put this in the one want to jump in because we're coming up to an hour and a half now. Wind up if no one wants to have a little talk. Let's see. Yeah, because I'm old. I've had years. I've had decades. The older you get, the more you pick up and know. It's brought also up around that sort of area and all that. The entertainment, lots of things I don't know. Hell of a lot. Don't even ask me about football, I haven't got a clue. Or most sports, I haven't got a clue what. Oh, yeah, Nuts in May. That was a good one. Yeah, we get some great actors. Let's see, what can I talk about to sign off on? No one wants to talk to me again. No one ever likes to frighten people. You know, they're terrified. Intimidated by my beauty. So intimidated by my beauty. Oh, does people know that I'm on I'll be on Steve Wraith's on a Wednesday talking about the latest in the news with Steve Wraith. So Wednesday, 7 o'clock. I'll be doing that. This is me Empress Ming makeup. I used to do the Weibo look, which is like a Japanese look. But now I just thought I'd do something. I haven't done anything like this for ages. So I just wanted to do something different. So I thought to do this. Oh, my lipstick's gone all rubbish. I had a little Cupid bow mouth. Oh, thank you. There was a wonderful thing on by the Royal Ballet. They did a talk. I'll have to put it on the community page when I get the time. And they're talking what it means to be a ballet dancer or a ballerina more than anything. You see, everyone uses this term ballerina. No, it's actually a term that very few actually earn. You have to earn the title of ballerina. But people use it for everyone that does ballet. Oh yeah, him and Sean did it. Surprised Sean did that. Oh, me rope. This is me. This is scarf. It's actually. Let's see. It's two peacocks. Oh God! Don't tell me I've got cords. I hate that when you get the frill on the cords. Don't let you be able to see it. It's two peacocks. Can you see that? I'm having to look through it to see there. You know, two peacocks. It's lovely when I wear it. But I say you can only see it from the back. Good night, Eddie Beale. Yeah, I'll be doing more. When's the next one? So you have to be careful on the time because you only get so many hours on StreamYard for free. Then you have to pay for the bleeding thing. Get 20 hours a month. But I'll do a Wednesday one, I think. Good night, Eddie. So anyway, what I'll do, since no one wants to come in and talk to me again, I'll unless there's anything else that someone wants to talk about, anything relevant. I've missed out that I want. There was one person I want to talk about, but you know, I'm not giving them the breath of life. I'm not. He's just a strange old man who, you know, is obviously mentally unbalanced, and he needs to be left to his own devices because God help him. I can see which way he's going. It looks very much like the stars of dementia to me. So can you stay angry with someone with that? Because the case, I mean, when someone's going, they won't listen to me, they won't listen to me, you know there's something going wrong. And 1 minute they're calling you a danger to children, then next minute they're asking you to help them. It's like something going wrong there. And you can't very well hold someone like that to account for what they're saying, can you? You have to let them get on with it. But it looks like he's being exploited at the moment. But anyway, what I'll do, I'll call it a night, me lovelies, and I'll be back Wednesday. Oh no, I can't do it Wednesday, can I? Because I'm doing Steve Rates. No, actually, see, it's the timing though. If Steve Rates goes over, oh, I can jump out in time, can't I? Yeah, I will do. I'll do a hump day with Anne on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. I'll be on Steve's at 7 o'clock, and I'll just have to hop out 5 minutes before the end to do hump day. Unless let's see, should I do it Tuesday? No, I'll do it Wednesday. That makes more sense. Oh, definitely, he's not right. It's definitely not right. I mean, it's just bizarre, but people are using them. They're using them. Night Matrix. Night Paris, sweetheart. So what I'll do, my lovely, is I'll say night, all have sweet dreams, enjoy your Sunday, and until Wednesday, say 8 o'clock Wednesday, hump day with Anne. Till then, bye-bye, darlings. Bye, bye.